Well, welcome back, folks. Today we're going to start the conversation around restoring the seat for the Suzuki TS50 Gaucho project. You can see that right here in the shot. But before we get to that, I just wanted to share with you that you might hear a little moaning and groaning from the building. You might hear the garage doors flexing a little bit. You might hear the heat unit in the background. We're in the middle of an absolute blizzard right now. Air temperature outside is 78 degrees Fahrenheit. That's what, minus 13, 14 C. We have wind gusts pretty regularly, 50 to 55 miles an hour. That's what, 80 to 90 kilometers an hour in terms of wind speed. So you might hear a little background noise due to the blizzard that we're in the middle of. And in fact, it is classified as a blizzard. And they're talking, I think, 2.5 to 3 feet of snow on the level, if they can even measure it before it's all over. So, and drifts, of course, will be much deeper than that, probably way steep. So everything's closed up, and so we're in the shop here where it's warm, and we're going to talk about the seat. This seat for the Suzuki TS50 project is actually in very good shape for its age. It certainly would be acceptable and usable on a rider or even a survivor. The surface here is really good condition. You will see perhaps right here some wear where it wraps around the edge, and then on the opposite side, I think you can see right here, there's been a break, or I don't know if that's a rip or what it was. Looks like it's been melted from heat. I don't know if somebody tried to melt this vinyl back together to repair it. It was just exposed to heat somehow, but it does have, excuse me, some damage there. And there's some scuffs and scrapes all the way around. Again, it'd be perfectly suitable for a rider. For a restoration, though, not going to work, not for me anyway. So what we're going to do is I'm going to strip this seat entirely, including the hardware, obviously the hinges here. I might not have to replate those. I think they might be just dirty. You can see that right there. I'll clean those up once I pull them off and decide if I have to replate them. If I need to, I will. If I don't, I won't. The rubber bumpers or pads here, 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 and here are in very, very good condition. And in fact, if I can get them out without breaking them, because they push through, they mushroom through on the opposite side right here. If I can get them through without breaking them, I will certainly reuse them. And then the bumpers here at the front. The pan itself, I'm expecting to be solid when I pull the cover and the foam off. That is, I don't think there's going to be any serious corrosion. There might be some surface rust. And I would expect that the pad itself, the foam, will be reusable, because I don't believe the seat has been exposed to moisture. And moisture on these seats is what really kills the foam. If you leave the bike outside and eventually moisture, water, snow, whatever, will get through this cover, it will get into the foam and it'll dry rot it, it'll destroy it, and you can't generally then reuse the foam, or you have to restore it and repair it. But I'm pretty confident, suspicious that this foam will be fine once I pull the cover off. I have ordered a new reproduction seat cover. I do not have that yet, and it'll probably be a week or so, a few days anyway before I get it. My next steps here are going to be to strip the seat. That is, pull all the hardware, the bumpers, pull the cover off. I'll try to preserve the cover. I don't want to destroy it if I can avoid it. And eventually here we are going to powder coat the seat pan in a high gloss black. I'll do that myself. Recondition all the hardware here and here, the hinges, and clean everything up. And then, assuming the foam is okay, and it probably is, then we'll eventually recover it. Now, I'm not going to show you all the details of every one of those steps. I've been through that before multiple times on multiple bikes, talking about restoring and repairing seats. You've seen it. If you're interested, go back and look at my previous videos. I'm not going to just duplicate that all over again once again, because that material is already out there, not only on my channel but others. But I will occasionally bring you back and along for the ride so you can see how I'm progressing. 10 minutes later, and I wanted to share with you a couple of discoveries as I'm working on this seat pan. As I suspected, the pan itself was in very good condition. As you can see, I got the foam off. The foam is very intact. Little release there from the seat pan, that's some surface rust. We'll talk about that in just a second, but the foam came off intact. I did have to take my time with it. It took me maybe 10 minutes to gently work this foam off. I don't just rip it off because then you'll pull pieces away. I use a little putty knife and work my way underneath and just gently help it release. And it's in really good condition, actually. One of the best I've seen in a long, long time. So this is completely reusable. I'll clean all this debris off of here, of course. The inside pan, a little surface rust, nothing major. A little foam that's stuck, you can see there. I did pull the front and two bumpers off right here and here, and I just used some gentle heat and a screwdriver, and I worked them off without destroying them, and they're still reasonably soft. Not sure if those are still available from Suzuki or not. And now I can go ahead and remove these four rubber pads. Again, you can see how they go through from the face side here with those mushroom style barbs. Same thing for these two, except they go through this mount. So I'm going to go now ahead and remove those four bumpers. The other thing I want to share with you, you'll notice here this trim, right here, this vinyl trim, popped off of the edge when the seat was covered at the factory. This is the way I found it when I took it apart. This did not happen to me. And that's just to prevent the sharp edge here from cutting into the vinyl cover. And I have to remove that as well. You can see it's split here at the front. So I'll remove that cover, these bumpers, and then I can get on with actually starting the restoration. I have the seat pan completely disassembled. All of the bumpers are out. None of them are damaged. Managed to preserve them. Again, I'm not sure if these are available anymore from Suzuki or not, but I think I can reuse those. I did peel this trim off, this vinyl trim. It was attached with a type of contact adhesive, I think. I don't know if you can see evidence of that right here. At the front where the seam came together. I've seen that before, so that's not unusual. Pretty stiff, but I think I can reuse it. And everything else is off the seat pan itself. So the next step for this pan is it will go into my blast cabinet. I'll blast it, well, I'll scrape it a little bit and get some of this foam off. Go into the cabinet to be blasted. I'll probably soak it overnight in a container of evaporust or something similar, just to make sure I've got all the pores derusted. It'll go back into the cabinet once again to have a final blasting with probably glass beads. And because that's what I got in my cabinet right now, and it's a blizzard out, so I'm not going to take the cabinet out to change it over. And then it will be powder coated. All that will be done while I'm waiting for the new seat cover to arrive. And then, of course, this foam, I'll end up scraping some of this rust and old paint and such off, and just cleaning this up and getting this ready to be reassembled after we get the cover. I think that's going to be it for the video today, folks. Any issues, questions, thoughts, drop me a note. Otherwise, as usual, thanks for watching.